We were at the movies with Matt and Ryan for a 2-in-1 video, where we review 2 movies in one video. And we have a couple. I guess we have one where we're gonna have an interest in debate, and the other one not really. But Downsizing and The Greatest Showman, and Matt is here as usual.
Hello. Yeah.
Back from Christmas, and hopefully everyone's Christmas is good, because either way, this is going to be up after Christmas, obviously. So, but yeah, so we have 2 movies that have been in theaters for a few weeks now.
No, they came out Friday.
No, Downsizing has been out for like 2 weeks.
No, it came out the 22nd.
Oh,
How much? I'll put $5.
oh, this week's gone by slowly.
Yeah, jeez. The cough. All right, let me do the talking when it comes to the movies. Right?
No, come on.
So, Downsizing, Greatest Showman both came out. Both are not doing very well at the box office. Downsizing, in particular, is bombing pretty hard. Greatest Showman, considering its budget's not doing too well either. But they both came out for the holiday season. And both aren't getting the best reviews, but I will say one of them I did enjoy, and the other one I fucking despised. And honestly, let's start with Downsizing, because it's a fucking horrible movie.
No.
It's trash, and
right,
people who like it are trash.
Let me read the synopsis first. When scientists discover how to shrink humans to 5 inches tall as a solution to overpopulation, Paul, played by Matt Damon, and his wife Audrey, played by Kristen Wiig, decided to abandon their stressed lives in order to get small and move into a community.
Okay, all right. First off, this is written and directed by Alexander Payne, who is an extremely talented writer and director. He's made movies like The Descendants and Election and Sideways that are really smart and funny and heartfelt in their own way. And he's shown a really deft ability to satirize things. I love Election. Election's a really great underrated movie. I don't know what the fuck he did here. I was just miffed throughout the 2 hours and 15 minutes of this movie, because it's a complete fucking failure, on every level. This is probably my second least favorite movie of the year.
Wow.
I was just completely miffed watching this.
Wow.
Because not a single thing goes right. And I guess the only nice thing I can say is the visual effects, of the downsized world. They look decent, considering Alexander Payne has never really made a big budget movie ever. But yeah, as a screenplay, this is just abysmal. It literally, the construction of this movie is backwards as fuck. It makes no sense. And it's literally 3 different movies. It's just it is. And Matt Damon, he's had a pretty rough year, but this is the capital, or the exclamation point on that year, because this is a horrible performance. I've never seen Matt Damon be so lost in a movie before. He's just kind of mugging from scene to scene. He has no fucking idea what he wants to do with this character, and the movie honestly doesn't either. And he's terrible in this movie. He's so out of place and so miscast.
I don't think it's his performance. I think it's just what he has to work with.
I think it's his performance too. What does he bring to the character?
Well, it's kind of like his perspective of everything. I think he's more of a character used for just having a perspective on everything going on around him. Because this is a big world topic that Payne writes, man.
He's not a fucking person. I understand how Alexander Payne, he wants to
I agree.
Make an everyman, middle of America kind of guy, but he's a fucking parody of that. He's just a simpleton. He's just oh wow. Just cast Owen Wilson. He can say wow pretty well. And then I don't even know. I don't know how to do you can read my review at Screen Geek. It's far more organized, because this movie's it made me frustrated, because the beginning of the movie, it's kind of intriguing, but every attempt of humor in this movie is fucking flat as hell. There was not even a moment where I even smiled.
Why?
It's either the one joke of, oh, things are big and now they're small, or they're horrible jokes. Horrible. Oh my God, Alexander Payne, you've written good movies. What the fuck happened?
Why? I don't understand why.
What happened?
I don't understand why you despise this movie so much. I think it's
not funny.
I think it's fine. I think there's a lot of funny parts. The party scene's pretty funny.
Wow.
I think the party scene's pretty funny.
No, well, when he does, what an original scene.
I think the overall concept is interesting. I think a lot of things were not developed.
What else is funny? You said the one scene, which is a generic scene that happens in like 95 million movies. Like, oh, the character is in a new setting and takes a drug and acts weird. Like that's a generic fucking scene. Like, I've seen that in like 90 movies. Like,
I think only until the end is where I was like, okay, this movie went from like being light to being like, we gotta save the world, and that was really stupid. I agree with that. But I think prior to that, I think it was a fun ride. Like, it's an interesting concept.
I don't know. Fun is.
I think it's an interesting concept Payne brings up, and I don't think it's ever been done before. I think he takes some risks.
I'm not gonna give him a fucking pat on the back. Like, the execution is horrendous, and it's not fun at all because the character, like, there's no one fun in the movie. What, Christoph Waltz doing his generic performance he's done in 97 other movies? Oh, I'm a little eccentric. And the closest thing to a good performance we have here is Hong Chau, who I think actually there's like a few dramatic moments she does a really good job in, but then we have every other scene she acts like a fucking stereotype. You want fuck? Like, I was embarrassed. I was frankly embarrassed watching shit like that.
Okay, I think she was funny. I think she was funny, like, besides the fact, because you were saying earlier to me that, like, it's disrespectful that people are laughing just because, like, she has broken English. And I agree with that, but I think she was just funny in general. I liked her character.
He dead now. Like, it was just.
I think she brought some life to this movie. And I think
I thought she's the best thing this movie has going for it, and
I think she brought a lot of energy to this movie.
It's an okay performance stuck in a horrible character, and I don't even I'm spoiling this movie. I don't care. I don't want anyone to see it. I'm spoiling it.
If you
don't want to listen anymore, don't.
I want people to see it.
Okay, well, I'm spoiling. Tell them to stop listening. The relationship between Matt Damon's character and Hong Chau's character is the most forced dynamic I've seen in a movie this year. They have absolutely zero romantic chemistry at all throughout the whole movie, and then the movie, they're in love. What? The fuck did that come from? Like, it just, nothing made any sense. And I get it's a science fiction movie, but these are about real people, and no one felt like a real person.
I think it was fine with having like the
what romantic chemistry they have. What they agreed about.
I think they both had a lot in common. They both like to help people, and I think they found that common ground.
You like music. You fall in love with everyone who likes music.
I'm just saying.
They had no scene where, and it's also because Matt Damon was so bad in the movie. They had no chemistry. It's just like, it was laughable how like I was like fucking laughing. That's actually the only part I laughed in the movie is when they randomly start he kisses her when her eyes is closed too, which was just fucking creepy. Like I was like, this is getting a little rapey first off, and then they have their weird scene, and then
she wasn't sleeping. Matt. It's not like she was sleeping. She was.
Yeah, but
she was
her eyes
awake.
are closed. Ryan, if your eyes are closed and you're laying
down,
Matt.
That's a girl. She was asking him to kiss her, basically.
Ryan, that's like a rapey answer.
No, it's not. It's not no, it's not. Why else would she close her eyes? Wait, I'm gonna fall asleep right now. No,
she's just closing her eyes and resting. People, all right. I think people who listen to this are gonna definitely agree on me that's weird. All right, but we'll keep marching on.
Also, he was helping her with her leg too. So like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Also, like, he was helping her with her leg and everything. I think she found a lot of good in him, and that's why they started having good chemistry together.
They didn't have good chemistry. Matt Damon was so bad. His performance was. He was so lost.
I agree that there wasn't much like to his character. I said that
there
walking
wasn't
out
much
of
to his performance either, besides mugging, being stupid. Wow, what?
Well, what
the
did
whole
you,
movie
Matt?
ends up becoming a
Matt,
oh, I feel
you're
good
telling
about
me.
myself.
Okay, listen to me. You're telling me that you living in Massachusetts and seeing something like this happening in Norway or wherever the hell it was happening, you wouldn't be like, wow.
Okay, but that was his whole character through the whole movie. He had no personality or anything. He was just, besides a thinly veiled construction of, I want to be important and I want to do something good. That was his character. He didn't have a personality.
He was a doctor.
He was a
doctor and he was married.
That's not a personality, you fucker.
I agree. He didn't have much of a personality. But I don't think that's a reason to be like, this movie is one of the worst of the year.
I know, it's just one of the many reasons why it's really awful. I could go on for years about how many fucking things that this movie fails. And the story is horrible.
I think the story. No,
I'm like,
I think the story gets really bad by the end. But I was fine.
I think the whole movie.
I was fine with the beginning, how it constructed this world of that Alexander Payne wrote, and I think that was fine.
The world is the concept's interesting, but the way he does it is just so generic and like just on it. Like it's just that all the subtext this movie has is so obvious. Oh my god, it's about saving the world. Blah, 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 blah,
I agree that part was stupid, but again,
and then the scene in the bar where the guy's like, "Oh, small people should have a third of a vote." Oh, like fucking prejudice, like. Everything was just cringy. Nothing felt naturalistic at all. Like it all felt like fucking someone trying way too hard. Like it just didn't work. And in this movie, he said it's a comedy, Alexander Payne. I mean, I guess some people think this stuff is funny, but I could tell by the theater I sat in, and on Christmas night, there wasn't a single fucking laugh.
People are laughing.
I expect that to be in most cineplexes, to be honest.
People are laughing.
The movie has like a 20 audience score, which I mean, I'm not shocked because this is a garbage movie. Like this is awful.
Wow.
I don't get what's funny here. You said the party scene. You see, one scene's funny. Like
I thought when she was talking about the fuck and whatever, that was kind of funny.
That was childish.
No, it was funny.
I mean, if you find Benchwarmers
oh
funny,
my god.
Let's just. I guess that's the quota.
Oh my god. I'm not even just saying it was funny. I thought it was pretty interesting up until the end. I thought the end was awful.
But the running time. I'd say. The fact this movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes is just an assault.
I wish Payne focused on one thing rather than a bunch of things, but like I think he did a good job of like putting us in this world and like experiencing it.
I think that there was a single moment of this movie where I was engaged. Every moment I was just bewildered and miffed and just like I was in shock that Alexander Payne made this movie because he's someone who I love and someone who I think has made a lot of great stuff. And aside from, the initial concept and then I think some interesting ideas that he really does a bad job of executing, it's just nothing to this that's like engaging. Like I hate the performances were all like I think Hong Cho does okay, but it's just every character is just so one note. Like it's just they're not interesting at all. The whole movie's asking us to follow these people and through their fucking mission.
But I think this
it's just not a single character to really be attached to in any way. Like
I don't think this was a character movie, man. I think this was like
but they're obviously by the end you're supposed to feel good for Paul and his fucking transformation. I give less of a fuck. And then the ending, he's like, "Who am I?" I'm like, "I don't know who the fuck you are." The movie doesn't know who you are either, and I don't think Matt Damon does. Like Matt Damon. This is a kind of a role you need like a character actor in. You need someone who's like a good actor, but not really a celebrity. Like Matt Damon being in this role he was so bad. Like I guess Matt Damon doesn't know how to be anyone other than Matt Damon anymore. Like I'm just starting to think he's lost his ability to act because like every scene he's in, he just is like his delivery and it just. The way he executes his dialogue is just cringy. It's just
I don't think
rough.
That's his fault though. Like,
I think he's in every scene of the movie. Mm-hmm. So if you have a movie where
but that's not. But he can't control the screenplay, Matt. He gets paid to act. He doesn't get paid to write.
Okay, but if you have a
screenplay,
you get paid to act. If you like this movie, then he's in every scene. How can you like a movie if he's in every scene, and every scene he's in, he doesn't do a good job?
But is
I
that
can name a single scene where he had a good performance.
because I think it was just from his perspective, man. I think like
What the fuck does that mean? It's from his perspective.
like
What?
this. I told you this is a concept movie. There's this certain thing that's happening in the world where people are getting smaller.
The movie becomes about his character. It becomes about Paul and his personal, fulfillment, which is what the ending was about. He fucking, he decides, oh, fuck this. I'm going to just help with, her. I'm going to be happy for myself. A lot of the movies about him being downsized is him escaping the malaise of his life. And I don't think
what's wrong with that? And I agree
but
that
the beginning doesn't really establish it that well because everything's so rushed. It's like, this happens, this happens. And another sign of horrible writing. The movie goes from 5 years to 10 years to 2 years. What? You fucking jump time so much. It's like, it just comes disorienting. It's like, so what happened in that year? What happened? It's just like, like, that's bad writing. Like, you kind of need to develop these things. You can't just jump around, jump around. Like, it's just, like, that was terrible.
Damn.
A movie can't work if your main character, who you're supposed to care about, is a fucking plank of wood, who is just, and the movie expects you to be so, I'm so happy they're together when they had no chemistry.
I was.
I'm so happy he's
How do they not have
fulfilled.
chemistry?
Like,
I thought they had a lot of chemistry.
I thought they had zero.
I think
Matt Damon was so fucking bad.
I think Matt Damon's more like quieter personality mixed well with her like outgoing personality.
Yeah,
I thought
quieter.
That was
that's a very generous way to describe his lack of character. Quiet. Yeah.
He was humble.
I'm generous. In the movie, has a real like fucking white savior complex. Like, this character's like the least like fucking valuable character in the scheme of the movie. Yet the whole movie just becomes about how I feel so good about myself. I did something. I feel good. That was just cringe.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that.
I think the tone
Matt,
is so.
Matt.
This tone is so bad.
I don't think.
The movie. It's trying to be funny, and I've gone over. It fails miserably. But then the whole third act becomes this fucking preachy college fucking class about the planet is dying, blah blah blah. What a horrible. Not only is the story detour just weird, but the tone it just makes no sense. Like, what?
I was gonna say. See, now I forgot.
I didn't say anything, so I don't know how you forgot.
Well, no, I was gonna say. Oh, about the white savior thing. I don't think it was that bad. I don't think.
It was stupid.
I don't think it was that bad because I think
whole movie,
Hong Cho.
This movie should have been from a different perspective because it's in the perspective who has no
Matt,
presence.
There was no one was like, Matt Damon, save us. Like, no one was doing that.
No, but it's all about him. It's all about his shitty
art.
No,
it was about Hong Cho and her situation, too. I thought they did a good job explaining that.
The movie's mainly focused on him. We see the whole movie from the perspective of his character, not from the perspective of Hong Cho and her. What happened to her? That was pretty interesting. That sounds kind of vaguely interesting. We just kind of hear about it in a few scenes, but no, let's follow Matt Damon as he fucking mopes around from scene to scene. This fucking shit development in this character. Yeah. It was fucking I was miffed just watching it, and I think the narrative is just borderline incoherent in just how the three acts of the movie literally feel like their own movie. Like the first third where it's setting up to being downsizing, okay. The second third, okay.
But isn't that what you have to do?
It's him. What?
Isn't that what you have to do? Like, how are you gonna you have to?
Three complete different movies? What?
No, you're saying they had to set up downsize. Yeah, of course they had to set up the concept.
But I get okay. The first I'd say the first 45 minutes when he originally downsizes, okay, and then he gets involved in this whole fucking plot to save. Like,
what else? Matt, what else are you gonna do?
Into this just
what else is he gonna do? He's got to make a story too. He can't just be like, "This is what downsizing is." All right, that's the movie.
It could have been about his character and like actually made him an interesting character, but no, it's turned into this weird tangent about the environment that it didn't like really feel that cohesive with the first half of the movie.
Like,
it feels incredibly incohesive. The two halves, like it just.
I'd say the third one. I'd say the third. It seems a lot more out of
Yeah,
place
but the
than the
second
other
and
two.
third, I'd say in general, I'd say after a few moments after he meets Han Cho, and that's when the movie kind of progresses into the third act. Like, and then I think a lot of it is just the first third is uninteresting build-up because this character is not interesting, and you can't like rest all your laurels on. Like the world building here is not that good either because the concept's interesting, but there's just very vague ideas about what this world is. Like it's not interesting enough where like it's not like Blade Runner or something like that where it builds a really interesting world with a lot of detail, something you really get sucked up into. It's just kind of these vague ideas that are just kind of not interesting. Like you can't really get that enveloped by it.
Yeah.
It's just I thought it was just I'm disappointed too because even with the bad reviews I was like, okay, this is Alexander Payne, this is a really good filmmaker, and this is a decent cast who, I mean, they're stuck with a fucking terrible script, and I hate to say it about Alexander Payne because he's a really talented guy, and I'm sure he's gonna rebound. His next movie is gonna be pretty good, but I could tell this was a movie, and I heard afterwards that they were trying to find the movie in editing, meaning they didn't know what the fuck this movie was, and they tried to make something of it, and it's a disaster. It's a fucking train wreck.
I don't think so. I think
in
it's
every
fun.
sense of the word.
I think it's fun until the third part.
I think the whole movie is just, and it was just so dull. Like it was so.
I don't think it's that dull though. I don't think people find this dull.
I get you find it's funny. You think stuff was funny, and I think none of it was funny. And I can tell you, most audiences, I saw it in a pretty packed house. No one laughed. So I mean, that's your opinion. You thought it was funny. I don't think most people are going to find this movie funny. Right. And most people haven't. I can tell by the cinema score is a D, and the box office has been really poor. It's not funny. You think it's funny? Okay, that's your opinion. But I think the general consensus is this is not a funny movie. Like, it's like Dirty Grandpa. Like, whatever. I thought it was funny. Most people don't. Whatever. Guess I enjoyed it. But I don't think this is funny. I can't remember a single scene I even kind of chuckled at. And I like the movie. It gets a few little it tries to get a few jokes out of the concept, but it doesn't really do that much with it. I think the weird thing is the trailer is like funnier than the movie. I thought the vodka thing in the trailer was like, oh, that's kind of cute, but there was nothing even in the movie like that was that funny. Like, I don't know.
Did they do that in the? I don't even remember if that was in the.
It wasn't even in the movie. There was a bunch of shit in the trailer that wasn't in the movie, which is another sign of wow, they didn't know what the fuck this movie was 2 months before it came out. I just think this was a train wreck. I really do, and I think a lot of it. I think the movie would have been like a 4 or a 5 if Matt Damon was recasted. So, I think because every scene he just fucking completely fails. I think he was so bad in this movie.
So what do you have for a rating?
Like a 1 or a 0.5. Either of those. Not quite a 0, but I like the initial idea. But I just think, what's a movie if your main actor destroys every scene? Like what
I don't think it's okay. I don't think it was a
he's
character movie.
He's in every scene.
I don't think it was a character movie. It was Payne trying to send a message.
He's in every scene and he's bad.
I'm at a 6.
Yeah, you can't. I'll never understand that. And it's not.
I had fun. I can't deny I didn't have fun, man.
Yeah, Brian.
If I'm being honest with myself, I had fun. I'm not gonna drop it.
That's fine. I'll let you. You can say that, and that's fine. But to say the movie ends up becoming about Paul. It's not. The concept is introduced in the beginning, but you can't deny that the movie doesn't become about him.
And I was fine with that because, like, where?
Yeah, but you say
what
it's not
direction?
A movie about him when it is.
I know,
so
but no, I said
a contradiction.
No, what I said was I think you have to introduce the topic because has this ever been brought up in a movie? No. So you need to.
Well, what do you mean? Like, it's not a character movie. It becomes a movie about him. The whole.
Well,
I'd say
yeah, Matt. This isn't a documentary. It's a movie. It's a documentary. It's not a documentary. It's a movie.
What?
So you have. No, I said no. I said it's not a
I don't know
documentary.
what you're
It's a
saying.
movie.
You're saying like 9 things.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it's not a documentary. It's a movie, so you have to make some type of story, Matt.
No, but you said it's a movie about the concept, not about the character. But it is a movie about the character. It ultimately becomes a movie about Paul.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how it's not. How is it not a movie about him? When
But
the
it's
whole
through the
arc
eyes
is
of Paul, too.
What?
I think it's through the eyes of Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole movie. Yeah, so it's about his character. If
Yeah,
you're seeing it through his perspective, then it's about him.
Yeah, it eventually becomes about him. Yeah, I agree.
Eventually, the whole movie after the
No,
intro,
the
after
first
the
like
first
20 minutes is introducing the topic. So I
Okay,
don't think...
so fine, 2 hours of the movie. So how you keep saying it's not a character movie? Then if 2 hours of a 2 hour and 20-minute movie is about him, then how is it not?
Well, I'm saying it's not like.
Well, you can take back your statement that's not a character movie then, right?
Jesus.
You're saying like 9 things that are completely contradictory. Like,
No, I'm not contradicting myself.
You said it's not a movie about
I had
the
fun
character.
either way.
What?
I had fun
What?
either way. I think there was a message that Payne wanted to get across, and I think that was his main purpose in this movie.
Okay, but he also is trying to make this the character has a complete arc. Like it's a movie. Like he's the fixture of the movie too. He's doing that message through the character. Like to say that this movie doesn't try to have make Paul a character is, I think he's in every scene. Like I just don't understand how you could say that it's not. He's in every fucking scene of the movie besides the first 2 scenes where they're just talking about what downsizing is.
Well,
that's the only scene. Well, is he not in every other scene?
Yeah, he's in every scene, every other scene.
So how is it not a movie about his character?
It is, but I think there's other parts that...
You said 5 times, this is not a movie about his character.
Because I don't think that was, like, it, Matt. That wasn't the only, like...
Oh, I get that's not the only thing, but that's one of the major things. To deny that it is a thing is just kind of wrong.
Yeah. And
misleading. Because I would have read, honestly, a movie that was more of an ensemble probably would have been better. If we kind of saw how got more of Hong Cho's story, got more of, Christoph Waltz. Like, that probably would have been a better movie, to be honest. Because I don't think they were that terrible in their parts, but it's just like, they're playing very one-note characters. But I think the movie mostly does it through Paul, and the combination of how the character is written and the performance, he's just fucking piece of wood.
Well, people can
see. All right,
see
you had fun. I can't. There's nothing I can argue with. If you thought it was funny and you had fun, like that's fine. But I will argue with you about this character because he is fucking horrible. Like he is, and the performance was also horrible. Matt Damon was better in the fucking Great Wall. Like, at least that was a part he's played before, and he can play decently. Like
I remember.
Here he's just what?
I remember that movie now.
I like that movie, and I'll defend it still. But this movie, he's asked to kind of be an everyman, but not like a Boston guy. He's not fucking Mr. Boston tough guy. He's just like a normal person, and it's so bewildering that he can't like do that. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. Like, but I'm glad the movie's mostly failing financially and critically too. So I'm glad I'm not alone. This isn't Jumanji.
Yeah. Jumanji. All right.
That's Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman. This will probably be quicker because I think we kind of have similar thoughts. But The Greatest Showman is another musical starring Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, and Zendaya, the pop singer. So it's inspired by the imagination of P.T. Barnum. The Greatest Showman is an original musical that celebrates the birth of show business and tells of a visionary who rose from nothing to create a spectacle that became a worldwide sensation. So. Yeah.
I like this movie. I understand people's problems with it because it's completely fictitious. Because P.T. Barnum, the real person, is kind of an asshole. But I mean, if you understand the history of that and you go into this expecting that, you're not getting it. I'm sorry, but for what the movie is, I enjoyed it. It's
me too.
It's definitely an overproduced. Like the music is like a little, it's definitely kind of poppy, but I think the movie matches that visually.
Yeah, I agree, and I think
what's up?
I think it was edited well too, and I think the choreography was really good. I enjoyed all
Edited in what sense?
all the music numbers really well choreographed and
Oh, okay. I
not
thought you meant the movie. That's because I disagree about that.
oh nothing like well I'm talking about the dancing and everything. I thought that
Yeah,
was really well
I
done.
think the set pieces here are a lot of fun. Like they're and it helps a lot that you have actors who really have charm. And I think Hugh Jackman, he really owns every scene he's in. He's a really a perfect choice if you're gonna make any musical. It's him as the lead because he's a very charismatic and talented performer, and he
Yeah.
commands every scene he's in. And I think he's great at embracing kind of this version of Barnum and his kind of wide-eyed ambition.
Yeah.
And I also like that the movie kind of showed the imperfections in that character's ambition and kind of like it wasn't everything wasn't all roses and fucking fairy tales.
The movie
which I enjoyed.
The movie went at a fast and furious pace though. Like this never like slowed down for anything. I felt like.
Yeah, I think the story. I don't know if it's the script or the pacing, but everything kind of feels a little half baked. And it's fine that the movie goes by, and I don't think it has a dull moment in there.
No.
But there's a lot of things that feel really rushed dramatically. Like, it's not really a spoiler because it happens in the first 20 minutes, but Barnum, he's down on his luck and then like within 8 minutes, the circus is already popular and all this shit. Like, things kind of just happen. And like, I get this is an ambitious story, but like that kind of it makes things a little less authentic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that too, and like all of the other issues as well in the movie that Barnum runs into is kind of just thrown under the rug after like a couple scenes, but
like the movie will introduce a problem and solve it within 5 minutes. Like it's just kind of weird.
I think it focused a lot on like the showy portion of like his career, and I think it just kind of every other conflict that came in his life, I think the director just kind of disregarded. It seemed like because I don't know much about Barnum as a person, so but like outside of this movie, so.
Yeah. I mean, I think another issue I had. I mean, we'll get to more positives in a minute, but I think the movie is a bit too. I kind of wish the movie did more of the supporting cast because they're just kind of these. They don't make them anything more than these kind of characters. Like there are all these different talents, but I kind of wish there was more, personality and individuality to them, other than just kind of being blindly devoted to P.T. Barnum. I feel like that's a bit of a studio move to kind of, put everything on the star, but I think the movie would have been a lot more interesting if we kind of had more authentic moments with the supporting cast of all these carnival members. I mean, the movie tries to have a few scenes, but there's never a moment where they're not just a group. There's never a moment where they're individuals. So I thought that was a little troublesome, but I think this is the kind of movie that either endears you to it or it doesn't. For me, I thought it has a warm heart. It had some charm. I liked all the music numbers. I mean, they're definitely poppy, but I enjoyed them, and I think the way Michael Gracie, the director, kind of shoots everything, he makes everything have a sense of scale and have the I like the movement and all of that. Like they were fun to watch. I mean, the message isn't anything more complex than just be yourself, but it's done so with kind of enough pizzazz and charm where I didn't really mind that, the kind of the cliche of that.
Shout out to Hugh Jackman too for like, I mean, he's been Wolverine like his whole career, and this is really different from that. Like,
I mean, he's done musicals. Les Mis, and he's won some Tonys in the past.
I know, but it's nice like seeing him back, like doing something else, and like
I hated Les Mis, so I liked seeing him in a musical that actually wasn't a piece of shit.
Efron too, although Efron was kind of, I felt like not in it as much, but I mean,
I thought he was good. He's been in Hairspray. He's done some stuff, so he was well suited. And Zendaya, their chemistry was nice. I think they didn't really have that much screen time, as you said, but same with Michelle Williams. She's obviously a super talented actress, but she didn't really have that much to do either.
Oh, that's who that was. Yeah, I figured it was. It's really familiar. I was thinking it was Michelle Williams.
It's a good light. I think this is like the perfect family movie for the Christmas season. It's it's light. It has.
And there are some like serious things. I mean, like it's implied that like Zac Efron and Zendaya are an interracial couple, and the time period doesn't really, you know, they don't really accept that, but like it's implied. But yeah, I mean, it's a good family movie, but there are some
Yeah,
things.
I think 8 and up or something like that. Like
Yeah,
like don't take the 2-year-old, but
yeah,
yeah, I think this is a lot better of a family movie than Jumanji because it's not just stupidity. This is it has a charm to it, and
yeah,
it does have it tries to say something. I mean it's a little generic and trite, but it does so well.
yeah,
So I give it points for that. I give it a 7. I enjoyed the movie.
yeah. I'm exactly there too. 7.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Uh, yeah, it's definitely gonna be divisive. I mean, I can get people who don't like the music. Like,
Yeah.
my sister, who's big in the theater, did not like the movie and said the music was pretty shitty, and I get that. And if you don't like the music, it's gonna be a rough movie. So
Yeah.
maybe listen to a song or two before you go see it. That's
Go
my
on iTunes.
recommendation.
Go on iTunes. Yeah.
Listen to the first song. If you don't like it, don't go. All right,
Yeah.
there you go.
All right.
Simple.
Well, that's that. That's the 2 and 1. We'll continue this. We'll keep doing these. We have a bunch of other movies coming out. So Matt and I will be seeing All the Money in the World soon. So we'll probably do a review for that. But yeah, I'll put this one up tonight. And yeah, so look at our past content. Watch this one. Like, share, subscribe. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for listening.